Welcome back, you lovely lot. It's Thursday, and what does Thursday mean? Thursday means heresy, and heresy means friendship, or something. I don't know. It's Thursday. You can set your clock by it at this point. We know that it's time for heresy on a Thursday. You wouldn't set your clock by it. That's a daily thing, because otherwise it would mean you're practicing heresy every single day, which... Actually, you know what? No, you could. You could actually set your clock by heresy. Anyway, we're not even talking about anything. Let's have a look at a fancy Space Marine right after this. This video is sponsored by Crippled Giraffe Decals, and they are currently having a winter sale. They're a US-based company, and they offer a huge number of different stickers and styles, taking inspiration from your favourite universes and all tabletop games, drawn by independent artists all over the world. These are high-quality coated vinyl stickers, so they will attach to pretty much anything and survive pretty much anything as well. They're obviously suitable for indoor use or absolutely coating one of your many hobby boxes, but they'll also hold up to outdoor conditions for years as well. Crippled Giraffe Decals has affordable domestic and international shipping, and right now there is a winter sale on. If you use the code WINTER, which is WINTR, on orders over $20, you get 15% off. Just as a side note, and this is not something that I've been asked to highlight, but I do think is important and is really nice to see, if you want to see who has made the sticker, you can simply scroll down, and down the bottom it will tell you which artist created the design. Thank you very much to Crippled Giraffe Decals for sponsoring the video. Don't forget that discount code WINTR for 15% off when you spend $20 or more. Now, let's get back to the video. Okay, who is this fancy lad in question? What's he got for us? It's the Legion Overseer, who shows humans how it's done. Interesting, what does that even mean? On the Great Crusade, the Legions Astartes fought alongside massive formations of Solar Auxiliary and Imperial militias who, despite putting in a respectable showing for baseline humanity, never met the lofty standards of the Emperor's enhanced elite. I mean, to be fair, were they really expecting them to? Were the Space Marines like, you know what? I kind of vaguely remember being a human. I remember being a better human than this idiot with that lasgun. I'm pretty sure they did as well as they're expected to do, right? Anyway, as the Horus Heresy ground on and casualties mounted, these unaugmented soldiers were even more frequently folded into Space Marine command structures, and it was the job of the Overseer consuls to make sure they all functioned together. Ooh! That's actually quite fun. I like that. I like that that's getting a model. I've no idea how it'll work, and I don't play Heresy, so I probably wouldn't understand even if I did have an idea, but both sides of the divide made use of these consoles, though the methods they employed to motivate their retinues varied wildly. Whips, I'm guessing, from the old traitorous side. Loyalist overseers, for example, often employed stirring rhetoric to galvanise their troops and led them from the front, with ornate power mauls glittering in the dull smog of war. Little bit of kind of Chaplin feel to that there power maul, isn't there? Just a little bit, for me anyway. Also, do you think the stirring rhetoric was just pointing at the enemy and going, will you get in there? Stop running away. Just because there's people that look like me in this sort of armour with this exact weapon threatening to murder you and turn you inside out, that doesn't mean you have to try and run. Anyway, what have we got? Let's have a proper look. I'm not even going to scroll down, we're just going to go straight to the big one. There we go. Look at that lad. Initial thoughts. The armour is quite nice. I do like that armour. That is some pretty nice armour. Feels kind of ambiguous armour in a way. It's got the kind of gilded edges that one might expect from later Chaos stuff, but it's not all spiky, and it's more decorative in a sort of flowing way, so that's kind of cool. I'm not really sure what's going on with the breastplate there. We've got like that kind of segment at the top with the decorative edge, but then there's like these massive studs underneath. Is that part of like the armour mark? Isn't that Mark 4? It's a little difficult to tell. The chest looks kind of different. The legs feel quite Mark 4 though. I could be totally wrong. Also, the pauldrons, you got a little cutout on one side, but then a really super thick, chunky pauldron on the other. Oh, interesting. I know it's not actually like a Crozius that he's holding, but my mind just immediately goes that way, especially with the newer chaplains for the Primaris just basically having a little skull on a stick, like a kind of Pimp Cane situation, and this feels like a mix of like older and newer stuff. I do quite like it. Is it just me? Is it just me, or is the handle like, is it on the wonk? Is it like severely on the wonk? It feels like it's super on the wonk, but I'm not sure. I don't know if that's just my eyes playing tricks on me, but it definitely feels a bit off. Other than that, I mean, the design of it is fine. It's very sort of basic Imperium. I don't know how else to really phrase it. When it comes to the Imperium, you kind of guaranteed a couple of things, right? You're guaranteed skulls, you're guaranteed wings. This is a stick with a skull with wings coming out of it, with a halo, which you also see all over Imperium stuff. So it's fine. It's fine. I feel like as sort of a staff of office goes, could maybe be a bit more interesting. But then again, do you want to give him super, like, fancy, extreme, over-the-top close combat weapon when he already has the fancy armor? Would that just overload it a bit? Especially given, in fairness as well, the helmet. You've got, like, the laurel around the brow there. That's kind of cool. And you've got the, like, centurion sort of feather duster. Crest, that's it. I don't know why I always forget the word crest. It always takes me a minute. I'm always sat there like, what do you call the hairbrush on top of the head? What is that? I have to admit, I'm biased against this helmet because I don't like it when when the hairbrush is that way around. I prefer it when it's the other way around. A crest, to me, when it's like flat side on, it just doesn't really do anything for me. You rotate that like 90 degrees, I'm all in. That looks badass. I love that. That's fantastic. But in that configuration, it's not really my thing, to be honest. Then again, you snip that off carefully enough. You get your hobby knife and you just saw through just nice and gently, and you turn it. That'd be golden. That'd be grand. Most of you are probably sitting there thinking, I'm not going to do that, I'm not interested, it looks fine how it is, shut up, and that's totally okay. But that's what I would do personally, alright? The decoration insignia on the shoulder pad looks cool, looks like we've got a bit more sort of fancy filigree stuff going on. Classic older plasma pistol looks nice as well. I mean, you just get a nostalgia hit from that, don't you, every time? It's nice to see a back banner. It's always nice to see a back banner. You can't go wrong with a good back banner, and that one looks decent to me. Really hammering home the old skull and wings motif as well. I mean, we've got one on the banner, we've got one on the Not Crozius, the Power Maul, we've got one on the chest, we've got some on the knees. I'm guessing I can see wings on that pauldron, so I'm assuming that there is also a skull in the middle of those as well. You know, you got to stick to your imagery, you got to really hammer that home. The bear head is fine, it's alright, he's shouting. He's probably yelling insults at the other Legion Overseer on the other side of the battlefield that he's fighting against. That's fine. I like that the laurels are there too. Doesn't matter whether he's got helmet on or off. You've got to have your greenery. Yeah, he looks pretty decent. There is a bit of tactical rock nonsense going on, admittedly. Be nice if that was some debris of some kind instead of another stone, but I mean, it's just the go-to, isn't it? It's just the go-to. Though it was far from the most glorious assignment, Overseers were still afforded respect for the difficult task of making the common soldiery function acceptably alongside their Space Marine allies, and their skills were greatly appreciated by depleted companies who had to rely on human auxiliaries to fill their shattered battle lines. Oh, there you go. I like that, actually. I do like that. Oh, God, I wouldn't do your job. Your job sucks having to deal with all those baseline idiots, but I'll be honest, you are getting a good performance out of them, even if they are awful. As a result, these consoles often wore highly decorated armour to inspire those under their charge, especially those who sought to command through respect rather than fear. This new resin miniature pares back on none of these details with extensive decorative trim, majestic back banner, and a laurel wreath. Yeah, it's true, that's what he looks like. We've also got some alternate angles, so that's nice. Well, we've got some zoomed in angles. It's not really alternate angles. We're not getting a lot of, like shots of the rear these days, are we? We're not getting a lot of those. We're not getting a lot of back shots. It'd be nice if we had a few more, to be honest. I still can't quite make out whether that shoulder pad has got a skull on it or not. I don't know if it does, actually. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just got a sort of circular bit of gilded stuff. It's kind of hard to tell. Be nice to find out. Yeah, as kind of alternate angles go, this one isn't the most helpful. It's like, yep, that's definitely the same dude. I mean, that it is wonky. It is wonky, that, isn't it? It's definitely wonky. And that's also a plasma pistol with holster. Excellent. So in practical terms, these consoles can take up to 3 solar auxiliar las rifle sections or Imperialis militia infantry guns as a personal retinue. That's kind of cool. Alright, that's cool. That's fun. Granting them the Legion's auxiliary rule that matches their Legion. These cut-price troops have many battlefield uses. You don't need to take an entire allied detachment to include a few indentured soldiers in your ranks. That's actually quite cool. That's quite cool. So if you want the rules, they're in the Campaigns of the Age of Darkness, the Battle for Beta-Garmon, along with a wealth of additional game content and background lore. Yeah, cool, nice, okay. There you go, that's the new console Overseer. I quite like the look of that model, pretty good. And also being able to take like up to 3 Solar Auxiliars / Imperial Militia. That's a fun little rule. That's a nice bit of fluffy rule writing right there. Let me know what you think of that in the comments down below. Thank you again to Crippled Giraffe Decals for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check them out, there will be a link in the description. Thank you very much for watching, I'll see you next time.